Hello and welcome to this week's FPL Game Week preview. We're looking forward to Game Week 4 now, and as usual on the screen you'll see a Game Week 3, how that went for myself, before we look at some transfers and team selection for Game Week 4. So Game Week 3 actually went very well for me. I got very lucky after starting Gabriel. Obviously played no minutes, and the player who came in for Gabriel ended up being Matty Cash, who got 17 points. So for me, I ended up getting very lucky with that. 64 points and leading to 200 in total. That puts me in a green arrow up to 74k. Now, before the game week, I think I was sitting about 250k. And before Sunday's games, I think I was down to about 400, 500k. And then Matty Cash's points skyrocketed me back up to 74,000th in the world, which was, again, very lucky, but fantastic at the same time. In terms of team value and bank, it's looking alright. Had a few price drops last week, having to just ignore Gabriel. Because I thought he was going to start against Fulham. Unfortunately didn't, but then obviously ended up being fortunately because Matty Cash came in instead. So yeah, team value I'm not really too bothered about now, because any team that I'm really wanting at this moment doesn't require the full budget, and I've got a lot of money in the bank. So again, like I say, I'm not really too bothering about players dropping in value. In terms of transfers, in the game week preview last week, I wanted to do Salah and Pedro to Maddison and Jackson. Unfortunately, we never got the Maddison news in time that he was going to be available. I think it was Thursday night we were expecting the Jackson price rise, so I had to just bite the bullet on that one. And I couldn't afford Pedro to Jackson unless I'd done Salah down to Foden. So yeah, unfortunately I couldn't go with Maddison. Maddison ended up scoring and getting 10 points, so an L on my part. I guess that's just one for the future, where you think you maybe just wait to the deadline and don't really bother about the price rises, because that 0.1 million has cost me 6 points. But in terms of that, everything else went okay. Haaland captaincy not very well, but everyone had that anyways, so it's not too bothered. Jackson returned, Saka returned, Rashford gets his first return, Foden getting a last minute assist as well, which was great. And yeah, apart from that, Mbeumo not too great. Eze again not too great. Might have to look at getting him out in the future. But yeah, quite happy with Game Week 3 so far. In terms of where we stand against the rest of the pack, we're obviously sitting about the 50k range, which is only 13 points off the top 10k right now, 81 points off first. Considering I've used 0 chips as well so far, it's looking great. But then you also need to look at the fact I'm still 22 points away from 1 million. That's one haul that I don't have, maybe from like Martinelli or something. That's a popular pick that I don't own. But again, like I say, if we can keep this going, I'll be looking fantastic for the start of the season. So obviously we used 2 free transfers last week with Salah and Pedro. That leaves us with 1 free transfer this week, and that's going to be Gabriel to Henry. Henry, I believe, for me right now will be the best 4.5 defender. Obviously I could go for Diaz, but I just kind of would prefer a more attacking option. I think if City don't keep a clean sheet, Diaz isn't going to get anything. And then yesterday we seen Sheffield score a goal, which kind of made the City defence look a little shaky for me. So I'd rather have an attacking option in there as well. And at 4.6 million, Henry is. I think he works best with cash, obviously like Adoji and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen with his injury. I think he came off injured over the weekend. In terms of other 4.5 defenders, Botman as well came off injured. But Henry works best for me with cash. I think with cash's worst fixtures, Henry has good fixtures, so they rotate quite well up until what I plan to do a Game Week 8 wildcard. So yeah, 1 free transfer, no -4s yet this season. But it looks like Henry will be coming into my team. And yeah, now that Gabriel hasn't started against Fulham, he literally looks like he's bottom of the pecking order for the Arsenal defence. So for me, I'm just going to get rid before any sort of price changes happen this time. So as we look ahead to Game Week 4 then, this is the team. Thankfully I don't have too many Arsenal or United players, which I know a lot of people have in midfield. Which is probably going to lower the expected points down quite a lot bit. I personally think maybe Bruno would have been better than Rashford, but again, Saka still the best Arsenal asset in my eyes. In terms of the rest of the team, obviously as I said, Henry and Cash rotate very well. Cash with Liverpool away, wouldn't want to be starting him, so therefore I have Henry coming in against Bournemouth. Goalkeeper, we've got Sam Johnson against Wolves at home. You would expect a clean sheet there because Wolves are not great attacking wise. Johnson, again, we've got the rumours with Dean Henderson, so I might need to pencil in a free transfer in the coming weeks for him, just in case Dean Henderson signs, because I don't want to worry about that rotation or just Johnson getting dropped. I don't think Turner is the best alternative. In defence, we've got Estupinian against Newcastle at home. Again, I think that he's probably just a start no matter who you go with. He probably won't keep a clean sheet. Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet yet, but attacking wise, Estupinian could easily get a goal, maybe even an assist as well. Ben Chilwell against Nottingham Forest, very unlucky not to haul against Luton. Hopefully he gets a second chance against Nottingham Forest. Again, easy starter for me. Henry, as I've already said, we hopefully get that clean sheet and maybe an attacking return against Bournemouth. Into midfield, Rashford, Saka. We'll see what happens with them. They're two players that could easily score. It's a derby game, so you do not want to be benching them. Phil Foden, hopefully he starts. I think he had an illness which stopped him from starting last week. Hopefully he starts against Fulham because, as we all know, Fulham are not doing great defensively this season. I think they're still lowest ex-goals conceded. So, as I say, hopefully Foden starts and can get a few attacking returns. And Mbeumo, obviously, he got his first blank of the season last week. But again, more difficult fixture against a team that's very good defensively. And this week with Bournemouth at home, maybe we can get one. Eze, we're still waiting for his first attacking return. I think the problem with that is Eze's the only good player going forward for Palace, and it's going to be very difficult for him to get anything because, again, as I say, he's the only decent player going forward. So I think I will probably try look to get him out in the coming weeks. This week I want to try get maybe Isak in for Mubama. Or not this week, next week. So I don't think I'll pencil that in just yet. But as I say, Izzy might drop to the bench next week. I'm not too sure on Palace's fixture. But for now, Wolves at home, hopefully he can get his first attacking return. In attack, obviously we have Haaland, who will be the captain, of course. And then we also have Jackson against Nottingham Forest. Again, got his first attacking return last week. And hopefully he can do the same against Forest. And that wraps up my FPL Game Week 4 team selection video. As I say every week, if anything changes, you will find it on the timeline up in the top left on my Twitter. And I'll post any changes that I happen to make or any thoughts or anything on the team. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notifications bell so you know exactly when I upload. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.